Hello, and welcome back to my Pyanodons challenge run. During the last episode, I worked on tar to make sure that my science would flow well, and I also got started on my giant basic substrate build. That worked out really well for me. I get another victory, my science goes at full rate the whole time, which is just fantastic. During the hands-off period, I worked on fishing mostly. I set down a couple of blueprints for more wind because I want to turn all those fish into wind power. I mentioned during the future that I'm going to need another at least 400 megawatts of additional power just to run the Pi 1 build that I've got. So that's why I'm doing that. It is a little bit tedious running around through lakes using landfill to fish, but otherwise I would just have to set up massive cold fire plants, which would cost me even more time and resources, and etc., etc. So, wind power it is. Why are you seeing a split screen, though? I was going to ask you guys about installing a couple of mods, because I was tinkering around with improving the UPS efficiency of my base. I am nowhere close to the UPS limit. I can run at about 800 UPS right now, so I've got plenty of overhead, but at the same time, I think it's a good idea to maintain good UPS hygiene, and also it's just kind of another fun challenge for me to figure out how to optimize my base as I go along, rather than waiting for things to get crushingly difficult and then trying to patch it up at the last moment. So I was looking at my boiler build. This one at the top that you can see is my current boiler build. It does a lot of side loading. It also uses a lot of inserters. Both of those are not the greatest for efficiency. So I was looking at using electric inserters, the regular yellow ones, and this is great. Reduces the size of the build, less inserters, less side loading. But it still does this like side load here at the bottom middle, and I don't think that's the greatest thing. I mean, it's not bad, obviously. I've got lots of other side loading that I'm doing deliberately, but I'd rather avoid it in a repetitive build like this if I can help it. So, how to fix that? Well, one way is do this weird S-curvy thing. I don't like the looks of this thing. It is more efficient, but yeah, I kind of don't want to do this stuff. I have done S-curve stuff to address basically this exact issue rather than splitting, run a bunch of belt like in my iron processing. But yeah, I just kind of want to avoid that if possible. So I was thinking of using a mod. This mod would be Rhaegar's change inserter drop lane mod, which lets you do this. These inserters on the right are set to drop to the near lane rather than the far lane, so there is no side loading going on here. It just drops straight onto the belt. Incidentally, this means that the system is even more compact than the ones above, but that's kind of more of a side benefit. And I think I could use this in quite a few places to both do drop better lane, less switching of a full belt, and also maybe do some like sorting. So I'd drop one type of item to one side and the other type the other. Now obviously I can do this with belts and filtered inserters. There's no like challenge there, which is why I'm thinking of doing it a mod like this one above. There's no like really interesting problem I'm solving here by doing a lane switch. It's just costing UPS to do the vanilla thing. And the downside here is that it is a little less vanilla. Now I'm using Blueprint Shotgun already. I'm using Squeak through, so I'm not like feeling like I have to be a vanilla. But I wanted to bring it up because it might like obscure why a build works, that I can do this, and you can't really see that it's doing this unless you watch where the item goes closely, or I mouse over the inserter and you can see that it drops nearly. Finally, I have this build, which I think is actually the most efficient and doesn't use the mod. What it does is, by dropping into half lanes, I could do something like, if I was going to a solid inserter here over on the right, it would only be interrogating one transport lane rather than both of them checking for ash. Now this might be like the most efficient, but I'm not sure I want to do this either. This looks ugly to me, and I'm not at the point where I need to optimize UPS this much. Although I will do stuff like this in the future, and it's one thing I thought about doing while doing my I1 build. So that's one mod that I'd like to get your opinion on, although I'm leaning heavily toward using it. So I'm going to wait an episode or two to find out what you guys say, but convince me not to use it if you really hate it. The second one that I'm doing is more of just an aesthetic change, and also I'm likely to do. It's just small underground electric poles. So this set of electric poles is the vanilla stuff. The ones down here with these little pylon-y things are basically the exact same thing, except there's no copper wire strung between them. So it looks a little nicer in builds where there's kind of just a mess of electric poles like my Pi 1 build. And then the final one that I was considering, and this was the one that I'm maybe leaning away from, is the advanced fluid handling mod, which basically lets you use single entities to replace what's potentially a group of pipes. So this offers no UPS benefit because the fluid system in 2.0 is incredibly efficient. It just basically treats everything that's not separated by pumps as one giant tank to pull from and insert from. It is a little bit more memory efficient for the number of entities that you have on the base, so it can reduce the size of your save file marginally, but I'm leaning away from it because I think it obscures the regular Factorio pipes. And I might, if I do install it, I would use it for like pipes running along a long lane, like like kind of the bus style pipes, rather than for pipes that are in machines, because you can do some stuff where, like, because these allow you to rotate a pipe end, you can do stuff like just like this might face left or right but still be connected to the underground extension above it, and it gets a little bit more confusing. So probably leaning away from using this one, or just using it for long lengths of pipe, which is also an incidental benefit because I can drive over these and not crash into them, and I'm not the best Factorio car driver. So yeah, let me know how you feel about those. I should, in the regular game, have switched away from running around and doing my hands-off time to going back to hands-on and working on the Substrate build, but you saw I was doing there. I'm going to hand it back over to the in-game version of me, who will hopefully have roughly guessed how long this voiceover took. Hey, so I've been working on getting this build running, and I finally have it mostly all built. I think I still have a couple microbiomes, but now I can get up. Let's give it power and see what happens. See what I've missed. I'm sure there's a few pieces here and there that I'm not quite connecting, but let's find out. Like, this doesn't have power. How come? Should have power coming in through somewhere here. Give it some power. Yeah, okay. Now it's all powered up. Put in a radar somewhere, although I am going to disconnect this build before I go into hands-off mode. Not that I don't trust it, but I don't trust it. Also, even just sitting idle, it uses up like 10 megawatts, so it's not the most efficient thing to just leave around running. But I'd like to see some of it get going, and then we can enjoy how producing my first basic substrate. I feel pretty good about that. And then with the rest of the episode, I'm going to install more wind power, maybe do a couple of general cleanup tasks that I had sitting around. Look at my task list. Substrate almost done. I just need to fill in these last microbe mines, and of course the research servers once I get done with that. Then there's a couple of things I need to do with making slightly too much stone, so I'm voiding a little bit of Keragen, so I might add a second line and some more Keragen voiding as well. Let me go finish the microbe mines, and then we can check out and make sure that I'm not creating a biocrud right off the bat. That would be a terrible feeling, wouldn't it? All right, back in a moment. All right, now all I have to do is connect up these petri dishes, get them going, and we can see how things proceed. Should start getting our agar first. This should kick. Yep, this kicked on as soon as the petri dishes entered the assembler. Now we can make petri dishes. This won't kick on until I fill up part of this looping belt with petri dishes, so that's going to take a minute. One thing I did change, by the way, added, is that I'm not going to put any wood from these inserters, the ones that are coming off the main wood line, until this box fills up. And that's going to help me deal with the situation where I have an intermittent wood supply. I think that is this is not great. I need to make sure, I guess this should have had, that was missing a power pole. Okay, much better. Do not have water. Looks like sometimes when I was checking with the ghost planner, I ended up deleting a ghost somewhere. So good to check it over. Let's should be able to just look in map view. All of the many seaweed farms are going. None of this is going because you do not have seaweed yet. Okay. So yeah, a lot more things will kick on shortly, and imagine my power is going to take a nosedive. Yep, over 300, almost 300 megawatts right now, and likely to get worse. I think I might cut off the line here just to be safe as well. Yeah. Sure, I'll make a few petri dishes, but that's not going to be a problem. They'll just sit in the void here. And then when I cut off the power in general, it should be safe, I think, as long as I've... maybe that's not a great idea. Let's connect them back up. The ideal situation would be that I fill up all the basic substrate buffers, I make no biosludge, and I can then shut off the power completely and not worry about it until I come back and have research servers and glassware fill this up. Okay, so I'm gonna go make myself some wind power and come back and look at that after that's been done, and hopefully no biocrud will have been created. I should, I guess I can just do that, biocrud. Let's see if any gets made. Perfect. Yeah, kind of got to remember all the tools that I've got available to me. So now I'm just going to make as many fish mills as I can, dispose of the extra seaweed that I've got, clean up my inventory, and then go put those down. And I will come back after I've done that. Alright, I've put down another 50 windmills and pushed my power consumption up to 360 megawatts, so kind of negative right now, but let's, no biocrud has been created. It will take 10 minutes for the first biocrud to mature, spoil the cellulose, so at least that means that no agar is being wasted, and basic substrate is being made. Filling up these boxes. You can see the petri dishes are flowing on just one lane, which is the intended UPS saving measure. These microorganism mines are all running. I'm going to run down, well, I guess I'll just go through in map view and look through. None of these are running because, oh yeah, because this is not filled up with wood yet. None of these are filled up with wood. Ooh. Maybe some of them have. Interesting. Must be a reason that maybe... Oh, probably these got access to seaweed last because the seaweed line runs down through here. That would make sense. So these are running, and basic substrate, yep, is being made at all of them. So now I just have to wait a couple minutes, and things should shut down again as the basic substrate buffers get filled. Wonderful. No, I don't want to make my own air core inserters. So I guess I will go and tackle that issue with the stone. Just grab a little bit more of it from down below and reroute it, and also make a new Keragen voiding setup with the fix I used last time. So I don't think there's anything special for you to see here, so I guess I will just do this also in accelerated time. It's just going to be that build here. And some belt work. So I'll be back after I've done this. Okay, so I think that fixes the Keragen issues that I had with this setup, and hopefully this will mean that Keragen is fully voided, and now I can use up all the carbolic I made making stone. Okay, so what next? I don't really have any big tasks that I want to accomplish now. Substrate is knocked out. Second stone Keragen is done. I've added more zinc buffering. Let's get rid of some small parts and other buffering so that my base doesn't have too many buffers, at least not ones that I'm not doing on purpose. And then I will do some general cleanup of my base while I wait for the basic substrate to finish being made. So I'll be back after I've done that cleanup and share what I've managed to accomplish with you. Okay, so I've done a little bit of cleanup. I've made my zinc buffer empty by priority to my zinc copper batteries. My lead is also going to go up to simple circuits. My aluminum, this is all runoff from soot processing. The aluminum is going to go to make duralumin by priority. None of these are going to run full time because all of them depend on me consuming these materials. But it'll help make sure that these buffers empty out by preference. I also fixed this. I really only want to buffer the stone to make sure that I can avoid any gravel that comes from my acetylene. I would prefer if the landfill only runs occasionally. Although, maybe this should be running. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I've got plenty of landfill. Worry about that next time. Set up a little bit of brick processing here, just so that I have a supply available for building materials. Yeah, that will make sure that I'm not kind of like running low when I need to make some moss farms or something. So with all that said, let's go make sure. Oh, I really need to figure out copper. Problem for the future. Also, problem for the future, I didn't make the gene lab that I was going to make But I think that can hold until next episode when I do a bunch of alien life genetics building, and it'll make sense to pile them all together. Let's look in my task list. Less small parts buffering, general cleanup. I will call that good enough. I even added a little bit more iron mining, so I'll go back and check if that's enough. For now, as long as none of the high pressure furnaces are running, which are the ones that make cellulose, and they aren't, the soil extractors are of course filling up massive buffers of limestone, which makes it impossible to clean out some of these builds without destroying your inventory, but like that's just the nature of the game, and I don't want to add more circuitry to stop that. But yeah, none of the high pressure furnaces are running, which means no cellulose is being made, and I've made no biocrud, so fantastic, happy days. I'm gonna cut off this build because I don't want to consume the 10 megawatts of like idle power that it does. I know I'm a little bit stingy on power, but like makes me happy not to play efficiently. I think let's double check that my stone is running. Stone is running. Stone is running. Aerogen's being consumed. Yes, that's great. All these builds are running. So yeah, I'm gonna go in happy hands-off time, feeling like 99% sure that I have not screwed. Let's call it 90% sure. 90% sure that I've not screwed anything up, and I will have a consistent science progression. So, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you during the next episode.